Hi lovelies, yeah, welcome back once again on my channel. So we'll be learning how to make this beautiful sweep dress with an elastic neckline. So that's tutorial for today, guys. Okay, so without wasting much of our time, let's dive into the tutorial. So here on my table, I'll be using this fabric. This is a crepe fabric, okay, floral crepe fabric. So I have about 2 years here. So I went ahead to fold my 2 years into two. I folded it into two, then I folded it again into four. So here, this is what I have. I have 2 years folded into two, then I folded it again, making four. So the folded end is facing me, where is facing me is the folded part. So after that, the next thing is to get our full length, the length you'll be working on plus extra an inch for folding or hemming allowance. Okay, so you can see here I have the full length of 48, so I added extra 1 inch, making 49 for the hemming. So from here, because it's an off shoulder dress, okay, I'll be subtracting 5 inches for my off shoulder. So I'll go ahead and subtract 5 inches for off shoulder. Okay, so you can see I'm still trying to arrange. So this is my starting line here. So this will serve as my starting line. From there, I'll go ahead and subtract my 5 inches, but I'll go ahead and add extra 1.5 inch upwards. So at the end of the day I subtracted 3.5. So the remaining 1.5, that will make it 5 inches for the off shoulder. I'll be using it to fold. So after that, then I'll mark my armhole. Then I'm going to mark my shoulder to waist measurements. After shoulder to waist, then I'm going to mark my hip line. Okay, so these are the lines I have here. So remember, I subtracted 3.5 because I'll be using 1.5 for folding elastic, making a casing for elastic, because I'll be using 1 inch of elastic. Okay, so this is it. So I have my, so this place I'm trying to level in the chest line, the waist and the hip line. So from here, from my chest, from the upper part, the chest line, okay, I'll go ahead and impute my shoulder circumference. Okay, so my shoulder circumference I use my shoulder circumference. So I use my shoulder circumference divided by 2, which is 8. So I marked 8 inches. So from after marking the then sorry, at the upper part, the 3 inches I subtracted. So on the chest line, I went ahead to divide my chest or bust circumference by 4 plus extra 3 to 4 inches of allowance, depending on how full or flowing you want it to be. So the same thing at the waistline, I divided my waist circumference by 4 plus extra 4 inches. So on the hip, I did the same thing. So the 3 inches are the allowance for ease, depending on how free you want it. So here you can see how I curved my armhole from that shoulder circumference divided by 2. I curved it into the chest line. Okay, so here, like I said, I subtracted 3 inches. So this is, can see I tried to mark the 1.5 inch for the casing. So by the time I'll fold the 1.5 inch for the casing now, so by the time I'm done folding the upper part, I'll be left with, it will correspond to the minus 5 inches for the off shoulder. So here you can see I'm trying to cut out what I have. So I've cut this out. I cut out from the 3.5 inches So 3.5 plus 1.5 equals to 5. So here you can decide to bring your neckline down if this is a style you are making, but I'm making a straight line, so I decided to leave it because of the casing. So just fold it like so, assuming you are not working with the wall with an elastic. So you just go ahead and mark down your neckline, but because I'll be working with an elastic, so this is where I'm going to be folding it. I'll just go ahead and fold half inch, then I'll fold 1 inch. Okay, so you can see I'm still trying to cross check. This is my armhole, so I'll go ahead and connect, so like so, you can see. Okay, so that's not the style we are making actually, so I'm not going to be working on with that line, so I'm not going to be working on it. So this is in case if you want to curve, you want your neckline to come down a little bit. So that's what I'm trying to illustrate, but here I'm making a straight one. So after that, the next thing is to cut this out. Okay, so at this down part here, I went up by 4 inches, then I curve it, I give it this curve. This down part is curved. You can see the way I try to curve it. I went up by 4 inches. You can go as higher as you want depending on how open you want your size to be. Okay, so I just went up by 4 inches, then I curve it to the hem. Okay, so you can see, then I'm trying to cut it into the shaping, the marks that one I marked earlier. So this is the hip side, then the waist, then from this hip line now go into the waist side. So trying to cut. So now this is the waist, then the bust area, and this is my armhole. See the way I'm going to cut out this armhole like so. So this is how it is. I'll just go ahead and fold it. When I fold, this is what I'll be left with. So guys, after that, you can see I'm still trying to trim this to make sure everything is in order. So I think I'm done with this. So -3. Okay, so from here I marked where my pocket will start. I use my waist measurement. Okay, you can just use 1 inch below your hip, your waist measurement, okay, to get where your pocket is going to be sitting. So I'm still trying to curve the down part very well to give me what I want. So after that, now the next thing is to set it aside. Then we're going to use this leftover fabric to cut the hands or the sleeves. So I folded it into two. Actually, I use my armhole circle. I use my arm circle measurement divided by 2 plus extra 1 inch. Okay, so you measure your armhole, or yeah, after measuring, then you divide it by 2, then or you just then you add extra half an inch. So I think I used about 14 inches, or you can actually use your sleeve round. So use your sleeve round. So here I marked out 1.5 for my elastic. Remember we subtracted it. So after that, from there now I marked my cap height, which is 4 inches. So from here I impute my, you can impute your round sleeve measurement, okay, divided by 2, or so after that you connect it into the cap height or the armhole. So I introduce this to make sure everything is corresponding. So when I check that it do correspond, you can see, so this is what I have. So I'll set it aside and I'll curve it into the armhole. So after that, you're going to cut it straight. So you can see the sleeve depends on your preference, your desired sleeve length. Okay, but I used about 10 inches here, 10 to 11 inches. You can use 9, you can use 12, depending on your preference. So I'll go ahead and cut out this sleeve. So I'm done cutting out the sleeve. This is what I have. So for this side, this center sleeve side, I went up by 4 an inch for 4 inches. Okay, so from that 4 inches, I'll go ahead and open it up. So because there is a style on that part, so after opening it up, then I I slanted it by half an inch. You can see the way I gave it a little slant or curve of half an inch, okay, to the 4 inches I went up. So now the next thing is to go ahead and cut out the band. Remember the sleeve, we are going to gather the sleeve side. After gathering it, then we're going to use this band to finish up. At the end of the day, what I have on fold here is 2 inches. Okay, I have 2 inches on fold. So by the time I'm done sewing with a half inch of allowance, I'll be left with 1.5. Okay, so I'm trying to cut out my trying to cut it out now, the band for the sleeve. Okay, so this is for the first one. So I have 2 inches on fold, so you can see. Then now, so the next thing now is to cut out the pockets. So for the band, I cut out 2 pieces. Okay, so I'll use, this is the remaining material. I'm going to use it to cut out my pocket. So you can see, you can put your hands on the fabric and trace your hands, or you can just use your free hand, which I did here, and just curve it like so to get your pocket. So after this now, but actually this material wasn't enough for the two pockets, so I used a different matching color fabric to cut out the remaining pocket space. Okay, so the next thing now is to couple our dress or put them together. So I'm going to open it up, right side facing right side, and pin both side. So I'm trying to pin. So after pinning, the next thing is to attach the sleeve, right side facing right side. Remember, we sewed everything before we folded the elastic casing. So you can see that they are aligning, they align together. So I'm still trying to join the sleeves. After joining the sleeves, then the next thing is to fold the upper part, the 1.5 inches left area for the elastic, because I'll be using 1 inch of elastic. Okay, so you can see this is what I have. So for the opening at the sleeve side, you are just going to cut a little stripe, then use it to finish up these edges for the opening on the sleeve. Okay, so for the so after that now, this is what we have. I'm going to join the other part. So this is how I'm going to fold it. I hope you can, this is clear. You can see I'll fold. Okay guys, so I'm done joining the second sleeve. So what I'm going to do next is to go straight to a sewing machine, then run a stitch, attach the both sleeves. So you can see here I've attached the sleeves. This is how it looks like. I've even gone ahead to fold, like I said earlier, at the upper part. So this is the sleeve. You can see I've finished this opening. I've finished it. It is having a neat finishing. So I've done the same thing on the other part. Then I gathered it to my desired sleeve round. So this is the band I talked about concerning the sleeve. So I'll go and fold it into two. When I fold it into two, I'm going to notch the center or the middle point of the band. So for this band, it doesn't really have it depends on how long you want it, because at the end of the day we are going to be tying it like a belt at the sleeve. So after notching, the next thing is to sew the sleeve. So I'm going to measure to get my sleeve round, my round sleeve measurement. You can see I'm trying to measure it. So after getting my round sleeve measurement from the gathered, I'll go ahead and sew. So you can see I place it together, then I'll use my sewing allowance, or yes, to join it together. So like so, after joining, then I will get the notched part. I will place it on this part, on this on these stitches. You can see the armhole side where I shaped. So I'll go ahead and pin them all around. So when I got to the middle point where we created a small hole on the sleeve, I'm going to stop there. So you can see now I'm trying to pass my elastic to the channel where we created all around, starting from one side all around to the sleeve, then to where I started. So after that, the next thing is to, when you come out from the sleeve, you can see this is the point where I started. So I used a pin to secure it. Then I'm going to adjust it to my desired length or width I want. Don't want it too loose or too tight. So I'm going to adjust. As you're adjusting, make sure the elastic is well arranged. Make sure it's not twist inside. You can see how everything is well arranged. Trying to separate the gathers and to the elastic and to make sure is the length or I wanted. So when you are done getting your desired length or how wide or tight you want it, so we are going to sew. Go ahead. You can see I'm still trying to adjust. So after that, I'll pin it up like so. So after pinning, I'll go ahead and cut it out. So I'll stitch that part, then cut it out. Okay, so for this down part now, I'm trying to insert my pocket. So this is where my pocket is going to sit. So you can see I'm joining from where I notched earlier at the where I notched earlier at the waistline. So that is where I'm fixing my pocket. Okay, so I'm trying to fix the other part. So after that, the next thing, you can see this is what we have. I'm done fixing the pocket. Okay, so I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it all around. So at this sleeve now, I'm going to sew it all around, okay, with the 1 inch I added. So for this sleeve, you can see how I'm pinning it all around. So when I get to the middle point, I'm going to stop. Okay, this is the middle, I'm stopped. So I also fold the other side. When I get to the middle, I will stop as well. So this is it. So I've stopped now. The next thing is to fold it after sewing this first part. I'm trying to demonstrate what I'm going to do on my sewing machine. So after sewing the first part, you can see how I'm trying to fold the remaining belt. I'm going to fold the edge, then fold it into two and fold. You can see. So after folding it like this, so after that, you can see how I'm trying to fold it. I'll use it to conceal. Then this is it. I think we are ready. So at this hem part, I'll go ahead and fold. I will be hemming the both sides separately. Starting from here, I'll hem this separately, then I'll close the sides. So guys, this is the finished look. So you can see it's very simple tutorial. Thank you so much guys for joining me on this beautiful tutorial. I hope that you find this video helpful. Please, if you do, kindly give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like and share. Thank you so much. Bye.